Mic testing 1, 2, 3. Can I start? Tell us a little about yourself, the real you. Well, it's a very tricky question for me because I think each one of us take a lot of time to know ourselves, and I think I took close to 28 years to know myself. I think it was probably when I was 28 years old that I first met the real me. I think probably I asked myself what is it that I like. In fact, I think I didn't even know what kind of music I like. So the real me is the person that I am today, that I met very recently. When I was a child and I grew up, and in my school and stuff, when I heard my name in the attendance and stuff, I always went back home and cribbed. Appa ning bere hesru siglilva? Yenidu hesru anta? And my dad used to say one thing. No name has a meaning until you add meaning to the name. And probably today I'm sitting here and I'm able to talk to all of you and say something to the world is because today I love my name. And I am Tejaswini Anjan Kumar. Anjan Kumar being my biggest strength of my life, my father. And the real me is somebody. So I would say there are two kinds of real me. One, before 10 in the morning. That's where I play the role of a mother and mostly a friend, I would say. And the other one is me after 10. And I love both the versions of me. They are kind of similar, but extremely different too. So there is one family that I have made for myself, and that would be the family that I work with, my people who work with me. And I would say the family that I have gotten to meet, my people, my clients who come to meet me for like very, very, very important advice. And I would say a fashion advice is never a simple advice. It's a very big advice. And in my journey of over 12 years now, I've met some wonderful people. I think I would have spoken close to around 8,000 clients. And I would say I've heard a lot of stories, extremely beautiful ones, out of which there are so many people that I still connect to. And I would say the journey that I have seen amongst them is what they were when I first met them to what they are today, and how I've made them feel about it. So I think my journey about becoming the real me is something that has been molded by everybody around me, and I'm very happy about it. I would like to tell you more about it. I'm going to read into more questions and I'm going to talk about it. Open the gift and tell us what you feel about the topic of self-love or body positivity. So even before I open the gift, I would like to tell self-love or body positivity is something that introduced me to myself. And I'm very excited to talk about this. So, very well-packed gift. And I'm excited to see what's inside this, guys. Let's see. This is one beautiful gift that I could actually get. Meet my best friend, my mirror. So, why mirror is my best friend? Well, it's my favorite topic. I would like to say each one of us would like to know what version of us we choose to believe in. And I think I contemplated this for a very long time because I didn't know what exactly I like about myself. I started it with liking myself, my body, my skin color, my size, whatever that I am. I wanted to accept it all. It was a journey. I'm not saying it's a very easy journey that I took, but it was a beautiful journey. And in fact, ನನಗೆ ಏನು ತುಂಬ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ this journey has not just been about me. It's a journey that I've actually, taken part in so many people's life when it was about self-confidence and body positivity. I would like to talk to you more and more about this. Before that, I'm going to see the next question. Why do you think it is important in this day and age that women or girls realize and value their self-worth? I think I would like to start it like not just in today's day and age. It has always been a question. And yeah, I'm particularly talking about women or girls here, but I think in general, for all the humans, to realize what their value and worth is the most important aspect. Because I believe that what you think about yourself, what you feel about yourself, is exactly something that is linked to your confidence levels. And once you realize your journey towards your confidence levels is when you're going to probably know the kind of decisions you make in life. So I think self-worth or self-love is definitely directly connected to the decisions we make in life. ಹೌದು, ತುಂಬ ಜನ ನಂಬಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕಾಣ್ತೀನಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ನಾನು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೌ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇವನ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ಡ್? Like my career is different and how I look and how I appear is different. I don't believe that. I think how you appear is going to approve you of what you feel about yourself. And the moment you know what you feel about yourself, you know how good you can do in life. And the kind of decisions you make when you believe that about yourself is definitely something else. I'm sure each of you would have an example for this in your life. Just go back and think about it. When you actually believed yourself, the kind of decisions you've made, and when you haven't really told yourself that you love yourself, the kind of difference it has made. So now I'll come back to my best friend, the mirror. For the longest time, I think today, for me to even sit in front of the camera and to be talking this much, it's my journey that has brought me here. I don't think I always would be like, okay, mine is right profile, left profile, whatever. Now I'm like, I don't give a damn. So the thing is, mirror or camera or all of these are something that can show you your true self. Yeah, people say appearance, but I still will get to how that is linked. But the first step is a mirror. I always tell a lot of women that I meet every day, they come to my store and we sit and talk. So it starts like, oh, nanu salpa color kammi idini. And I don't know. Color kammi idini. Where are the standards set? Who set it for you? Nobody. It's just different shades of brown that we all are. And to accept that, I think I had to be almost 28 years old to know that, oh, okay, this skin color is actually like really blessed to have. A lot of people admire it. But then why did I have to know when somebody else told me that I have to admire myself? That's when I realized one thing, that every day when I dress up and step out of home, I just take approval of one person if I'm looking good. And that's my mirror. I stand in front of the mirror and I ask myself, how do I feel about how I look? And if I feel good, it might be in my pajamas or very well dressed like today. But I would say whatever I'm wearing, if I approve myself in the mirror, I'm good to go. And I always tell people that it's extremely important that we all talk to ourselves. Don't stop talking to yourself. Don't stop questioning yourself, correcting yourself. And don't at all forget to compliment yourself. Because I think you as you are definitely amazing. And you have to believe that you're beautiful firstly. And only then you're exactly going to get where you want to be. So there are like a lot of examples. So Dina in my regular journey, I kind of see so many incidents. Sometimes it makes me anxious. Oh my God, why do we actually feel like this? Why do women need to be convinced that they're going to look good in particular outfits? Why don't they know what they want to wear? Why can't they just accept it for themselves? All these questions, at the beginning probably, I used to get furious. Like, oh my God, why? ಇದು ನನಗೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕಾಣಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, I can't wear a sleeveless, I'm fat. All these questions. But my question is, do you feel good? Do you want to? Have you asked yourself if you like to? It's so important. Sometimes we don't even know if we like to do something because we are told to believe that we can't even like something. But that's where the journey starts, right? Stop for a moment. Ask yourself what exactly you're looking for in yourself and tell yourself that you're amazing. And I think self-worth, as the word says, it's all inside you. And trust me, we have to value ourselves. Take 3. What was the biggest challenge in your journey? Yeah, today I find this question very funny because I think that's the joy when you overcome challenges, right? I will talk about that also. But challenge, Anadakinta, I would like to say challenges. There were quite a lot of challenges that I had to go through to be where I am today and to believe what I believe in. So the problem with this particular topic that we're talking is challenges, you don't know how they are coming to you. So the experiences that you've gone through, probably our timely, we wouldn't even know if they were challenges. They might have been very, very tiny things, like your relative might have said something about your appearance in a function that they might have just found it very casual. Oh my God, I care for you, obviously, I don't mean any harm. They do not mean any harm. But the problem is how we perceive it. And how we perceive it, especially when we are in our troubled teens or whatever, is definitely not all that positive. It leaves a scar. And it's the kind of scar that is left on us without our knowledge. There's so many such tiny scars that we all have in our life. ನಾನು ಯೆಲ್ಲೋ ಕಲರ್ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಓ ನಿನ್ನ ಕಲರ್ ಯೆಲ್ಲೋ ಏನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. ನಾನು ವೈಟ್ ಕಲರ್ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ನೀನು ವೈಟಲ್ಲಿ ದಪ್ಪ ಕಾಣ್ತೀಯಾ. ನಾನು ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಕಲರ್ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಹಾಕೋಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ there's always an issue when you talk about colors. Now when you talk about what kind of outfit you want to wear, there's always a problem with that. Because there's no, I don't know if people know this, but there's no particular thing that is like the correct size to be or the correct color to be. It's just that what they want to say, they say. But the fact that how they have affected us, I call these as my biggest challenges. Let me name a few. So when I was in school, obviously my teachers don't mean any harm to me. And I've spoken about this in my previous interviews and I don't shy away from saying this. I think there was a lot of partiality in my school. I didn't know that they call it racism then. I know it's a very hard-hitting topic and I'm not worried to talk about it because it's something that has actually hit me really hard. So I would say, Prati Varsha, we have our school day and stuff. Teachers come, they pick the students that they want in the dance in the front row, and it always had to be this fair, pretty, lean girl who also who has like the best features and all of it. I never knew why I was not selected. So basically it always felt like probably I don't know how to dance. Probably I don't know how to sing. Maybe I'm not good enough on a stage. Maybe I have a stage fear. Could be a lot of such things. But never did I think that something that I didn't choose to be, something that I am gifted with, is what I would say today, is what was the problem for those people. So, naan dappa idino, sanna idino, adu it is something that I can't help, or what my color is what I can't help. But they stopped my journey from exploring myself into so many things because they never felt I was good enough. Rather, I would say fair enough, if you know what I mean. So it started then. After that, I went into college. It kind of continued. It never stopped. And I would say I got married. It still doesn't continue. So you know what they said? Nan engagement yellaru bandaga, the first thing that they spoke about, my relatives and everybody were like, oh, ಇವಳಿಗೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರೋ ಹುಡುಗ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದಾನೆ. So what does that mean? See, the whole point is it all starts from there. Somebody's judgment about you. Do you really want that to happen to yourself? I don't know. So these are my challenges. Like this, it has never stopped. But are you all curious to know how I actually overcame all of this? Who actually helped me overcome all of these? I would like to talk about it.
Life question. Is there any challenge while you are setting up yourself to be an entrepreneur and to be the woman that you are in the business that you are in? Are there challenges in that you have faced if a woman wants to be an entrepreneur and she might have some challenge. Is there a couple of examples that you might have if you want to share?
A woman wanting to be an entrepreneur itself was a challenge. I would like to begin from there because 12 years ago, when I decided to be an entrepreneur, my son was exactly 6 months old. The first thing that came up was, how are you even thinking about this? Yeah, I do agree. My son, me being a mother, it's my responsibility. Absolutely agreed. Never gonna deny that fact. But why did I have to choose between my career and my family? Why can't I do both? Was the first question that came into my head. But then, see, this argument never had a value until I proved something. So all I could do was challenges to become an entrepreneur. Oh my God, it's very contemplating, probably I would say, because you never expected that these challenges are thrown at you by your own people, and all that they wish for you is good, but still it's a challenge. I would say everything in its sense was a challenge when I started this. So for me, I was the first woman entrepreneur in my entire family. So when I started this, and I wanted to be a designer, I wanted to open a boutique and everything, I know my people, I know my people who came up to me and they're like, what happened, isn't your family providing you enough? Is being an entrepreneur all about being provided so you don't have to be an entrepreneur? No. For me, even then it was finding self. And finding self is absolutely equivalent to being an entrepreneur. I think that would be the first and the most beginning step to be one. So challenges, yes, a lot of them, but it was good at the end of it. It's all being good. So I'll go to my next question. How do you think this was best overcome? This was really hard. I wouldn't say it was a cakewalk, but trust me, there's this line. So there's this line that you have to cross to get to where you want to be. So you don't know how far this line is to cross. But the only way to cross is to move ahead, to take one step at a time. Someday, without your knowledge, you might have crossed the line and then look back and say, oh my God, I actually did it. So the best way to overcome anything is to believe that you can do something. If I, as a 22-year-old mother, could have believed that I can manage, so I didn't even know how to hold my son properly when I gave birth to him. 6 months into it, I used to come to work. I remember locking up my boutique every day in the afternoon to go and feed my son. But I did it. Why? It's not because my family wasn't providing me. It's not because somebody forced me to work. It's not because until then I was on a maternity leave and have to resume to work. I started something. Why? Because I feared one thing. That today, if that day I hadn't taken that one step, I probably would have still been a wonderful mother, while I could also be this, right? So maybe that one day that I made a choice, and me sticking to that choice, most important thing. So the kind of challenges that are thrown to you can't really stick to what you have chosen. It's the most hardest part. I had a lot of ups and downs while I brought up my son. I had to compromise on going to his school day just to probably be at a shoot, at my work, at doing something probably. But I don't regret anything. I think it's all a part of me. First thing I would say, each one of us need to believe that we are here as an individual. Yeah, we might be somebody's daughter, we might be somebody's mother, we might be somebody's wife, but ultimately we are firstly us, which is so important. We are all here for a purpose. We all need to find our purpose. I think my purpose here was to overcome each and every hurdles that I had in my way. These might have sounded really silly to a lot of people out there, but I also know that even if what I'm saying today can touch 2 people, this is exactly what my friend just told me some time back. If it could reach at least 2 people, and that could help them take a step ahead in their life, Probably when they watch this video, they might be at the moment where they needed to hear this. Sometimes, right? You don't know when you suddenly hear something and you're like, shit, I needed this kind of thing. So maybe somebody would want to hear this. All I would say is, every woman out there, I think we have so much in us. I mean, like, so much. Do you even know what is in you? Have you tried to find out what exactly do you like about yourself? Have you gone and stood in front of the mirror and told yourself, oh my God, you're amazing. You're doing a great job. You can do better. And nobody has to tell you that. You should tell it yourself. You can be your own critic, your own cheerleader. And I think all of this comes to you when you approve of yourself. And you can approve you of yourself only when you believe that you're beautiful, when you are confident enough that you're amazing. So body positivity is not just about the body. It's all a mind game. If you believe it in here, this is just going to follow through. And everything is going to fall into place. And probably that's the way I overcame whatever I have gone through. And I would say how was this best overcome? I would also like to tell in the lives of people I've met, So when I started this, I did not know head or tail about being an entrepreneur or being a designer, anything for that matter. I learned every day. But today, I have at least 12 or 13 of my clients who've turned designers. And I feel so proud about it. And each one of them have called and they've been like, you were my inspiration to be where I am today. And what was I doing while I was inspiring them? I don't know. I was just being myself. I think that's the best part. When you're talking, you don't have to really put in an effort to inspire somebody. You just be yourself. Someday what you guys are doing today might inspire someone else. So that's what overcoming everything you're going through is. So I loved overcoming my challenges. I think they were fantastic. So like I was telling you about overcoming the challenges, I would like to go back to one of the topics that I was talking about. How racism affected me in things that I like to do, probably. So because I was not chosen for most of the things that I wanted to be a part of, or I didn't even know if I could be a part of it, I never knew that I actually enjoyed dancing. That is one thing I probably realized a couple of years ago, like I said, once I fell in love with myself. And ಈ ಥರ ನಾವು ತುಂಬಾ ಸಣ್ಣ ಮೊಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ನ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿಸ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ನಾನು ಇವಾಗ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸಂಬಡಿ ಹೂ ಬಿಲೀವ್ಸ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ 30ಇಂದ ಐವ್ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಅ ನ್ಯೂ ಲೈಫ್. I believe that after 30 is when I've actually started living. But not everybody thinks like me, right? So I'm sure each of you have had so many issues like this, and now you already think like, oh, it's too late. I would say it's never too late to try anything, right? So along with this, I would like to also address one more topic. How difficult it is for you guys to go shopping if you're not confident with your body. I'll tell you my experience. Every time going to shopping means 1 hour before going to shopping. Okay, I would say 1 day. 1 day before going to shopping is self-therapy. 1 day after the shopping is again self-therapy. Because why? The standard sizes in the store is going to constantly remind you that you're not perfect. And how do you feel about that? It definitely hurts. It's not just me. I would say I used to go through this for the longest time. I still do. In fact, I still do if I want to go out somewhere. I know I can't pick out my outfits from the store because it's never readily available. Me being a designer, I'm glad and grateful that I get to design for myself. But apart from this, if there's something that I always wanted to wear and stuff, I got to plan it ahead, order it online because, plus size outfits are only available online. But of late, I've realized that I'm alone. I'm not alone in this. My sister goes through this on a very normal basis. And I've seen people who are really thin going through this problem. So it's not just XXL onwards that has a problem. It is also extra small that has a problem. Why? Who decides the standard sizes for us? In fact, I've had a debate about this with one of my friends who is into the clothing industry and stuff, and it's always a never ending topic, and the topic where we don't have any answers. But what I would say is, forget about why we can't get clothes. The point to me is how you feel about it when you go. You don't feel good, right? But again, like I said, what you tell yourself at that moment is something that can actually decide what you want to be next. If I decide there that, oh, I can't fit into these clothes, so I'm never going to try them, a part of me, a very bubbly part of me which wanted to excitedly try that outfit, would never try it later. Because I would believe that, okay, it's not made for my size, that means it doesn't suit me. But if I tell myself, screw this, if I can't get it, I'm definitely going to get it made, but I'm never giving up on the idea of wearing it. Right? To me, that is body positivity. That is something called self-approval. When I talk about racism also, constantly, don't you think like we all are constantly reminded, too fair a person, ishta belgidya. Too dark a person, why you so dark? It's very sad that in our country we actually don't hold back before saying something so stupid. I wouldn't say it has been there at our parents' generation where they didn't know what they were saying, but it still exists. Why? That's because we let them say it. Why do we let them say it? Because we believe that that is what we are. Do you really want to believe that is who you really are? No, right? So speak up for yourself, own up to what you have, and tell yourself that you're amazing. If not what you're doing today, what would you have been doing? Very well framed question, I would say. It didn't say who would I have been. I would have still been the same person. What would I have been doing? I think one thing I would love to be doing is to be a homemaker. I love to feed people. I love to cook. And I know it's the most challenging job on earth, but that's one thing I would have loved to be. If not that, growing up actually, I never aspired to be a designer. I aspired to be a journalist because even since then, I definitely wanted to speak up. I would have still been this person. I hardly knew what journalism was about, but I knew that I wanted to be a voice. And I'm grateful that though that did not happen, I chose a completely contrasting field. And years later, without my knowledge, me just being in my element and me solving my journey, me taking my step, today I'm able to still reach out to people. So I think this was meant to be. So if not being a designer, one or the other way, I would have still come and spoken to you all about this because it was my battle to fight. And I think I fought it. And I would have fought it no matter who I was or where I would have been. Your message to all the women or girls who look up to you, or to the ones who are conscious about themselves. Can I give an example? So when I'll tell you what, num field ali. So when we are in this field where we're constantly working with actors and we're working with known faces, and our field basically has a name and a fame to it, right? You don't know who real friends are, who real admirers are. You don't know if people are just saying it or if people really admire you and stuff. But I think I did meet a lot of girls who look up to me. And one thing I would like to tell all of them is, firstly, thank you for believing that you can look up to me and for actually being the main reason for me to continue or hold myself to where I am. Because I think it's easy to reach a point, but to stay at that point has been really hard. And I think the only way I'm able to stay at a point and definitely make an effort. In fact, I'm doing the 100 days of saris, which I call 6 yards of freedom. So where I'm talking about how women should think about wearing saris on a general basis or whatever. I am putting in efforts to actually take pictures, videos, though in my busy schedule, all of it. And though I'm camera conscious, I know you guys wouldn't believe, but I'm really camera conscious. But even though I still make sure that I put in an effort to to do it, because I know there are people who actually, look up to it. 2 days ago, I was having a conversation with this girl whom I first met as a makeup artist, and she was this little girl. I would say she was around 20 somethings, a couple of years ago, and she offered to work with me, and I gave her a lot of opportunities in the industry, wherever, because not because she was very sweet to me and she admired me, no, definitely because her work was good. I believe that good work should be promoted, and she did really good as a makeup artist, and a couple of years later she got married. I designed her wedding clothes and everything, and when she saw me very upfront close as a designer, she told me that she wants to be a designer. She wants to turn being an entrepreneur after her marriage and all of it. And she asked me if it is hard. I said nothing comes easy, especially if it is something that is going to be wonderful. It shouldn't come easy because you wouldn't value it. And she believed in me, and she's taken up the journey. And all I would like to say is, today that she's come until here, does she think that her journey was only until here and going ahead everything is going to fall into place? No. That's the challenging part. You admired me and you started doing it and you've come till here, but going ahead, it's your new journey. That should be an inspiration to many. So watch what we are doing every day. Be faithful to yourself. Believe in what we are doing. That's one of the most important thing. This kind of suggestion that I'm giving is for how the question asked, who look up to me as an entrepreneur. I'm suggesting, this is not me as a body positivity influencer, or not me talking about self-love, but I would say women as entrepreneurs, nothing comes easy. I'm sure even for men as entrepreneurs, nothing comes easy. Anybody for that matter. But you got to believe in what you're doing, and only then it can come easy to you, right? So, like I said 2 days back while I was talking to her, I'm still guiding her through things. But I know that her will is so strong that she's going to do so good. And someday we're going to redo this video for Women's Day, and I'm going to bring her with me, and she's going to be sitting here talking about it. And I'm really looking forward to it. Like that, it's not just one or two people. I know hundreds of girls, very few people who are super close to me, who I know have the capability of being what they can be. Their candid conversations with me are so inspiring. I would say my best friend Khushi, she's been there with me. It's been 3 years of journey with her, and I can think like her. And that's the beautiful part. I think these 3 years, the amount I've been motivated. Who knew that a person who is a decade younger to you can come and teach you to be motivated, right? And I look at my sister. I'm motivated every day to be a homemaker. So things like this, I think, being a person that we are today, it's not just what I am offering to everybody. It's that so many other people have offered it to me. Just that they don't believe that they are offering it to me. They just don't believe it. But I mean it. To the ones who are conscious about themselves. I've already said a lot about people who are conscious about themselves. Like I said, there's just one easy thing to do to overcome this. One step at a time. And I would suggest, wake up every morning, go to the mirror, look into the mirror. Even if you're brushing your teeth, it's okay. Just stand in front of the mirror and smile and say, you're beautiful. Trust me, first day, second day, third day, it might be very silly. And when you're saying that, you might see my face in the mirror. Oh God, she said something and I'm doing it. But in the long run, say a week to 10 days later, you would see that it is effortless, right? So the practice is going to become effortless. Probably a month or two later, you don't have to put an effort to smile and say it, because it's naturally going to come to you. A couple of months later, you might start believing in it. It is one thing that has worked for me. It's one thing that reminds me that I'm amazing. And I think it's one thing each one of us can do it for ourselves. I think try it one step at a time. Before I end this, I would like to say, if any of you would want to talk to me about your journey, about what you feel, be it about your size, your color, or you not being confident just as you as a person, anything, trust me, I'm always out here. just ping me on Instagram or wherever. Try to catch me. Try to get to me. I would love to listen to your conversation. And trust me, I love listening to stories. I love being a part of stories. I would love to design outfits for so many more beautiful women out there. I've worked with so many more, and I know I want to work with so many more people out there, women and men. And also, before I end this topic, probably I want to thank the wonderful men I have in my life. There are a few really, really wonderful men. A couple of them are actually shooting this video with me here. The whole thought behind wanting to do this is something that has touched my heart deep. And this being Parashu Film's first video, I would say this is something that I am looking forward to. And this is the best cause that could have started. And I am somebody who believes that every man out there is so special. Have we actually stopped by and thanked the men for being so amazing? While we always expect them to say amazing things to us, we don't have to be offered anything. I think we all can get what we want. Just like how men are never offered, right? So we all as women, I would say, we are amazing just the way men are. And I am grateful to all the men in my life. I wouldn't want to name because there are quite a few. And thank you. It's so beautiful. I feel so content. It's good. Feels good.